What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to some more Doki Doki Literature Club. And, I guess we are still continuing on a new save, is what I realized after pressing the save button. And as you guys can imagine, we're down to, there are a total of 4 of us now. 4 of us. Sayori is no longer here. But, I mean, at this point, let's see what happens. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll even have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. And I think because technically this is a new save, but like a new story, I guess, we'll go with Yuri next. I'll please the Yuri team, alright? Especially the 2 who I know I know you. I will please you and go with Yuri this time. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Alright, a poem tonight. You have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Sure. What the fuck? Oh, dude, seriously? Get this shit off my screen. What the fuck? Oh my god, bro, what the fuck was that? Oh shit, okay. Well, curveball aside, we do know that Yuri is into more like dark shit, so massacre, frightening, tragedy, disown, defeat, or hurt, extreme. This one will be, I guess it's easier too without a third person to try and please. Grief, hopeless, oh my, unalive, disarray, cry. What the fuck was that? Despise. Her face just, okay, that might just be me seeing shit, I guess. I don't know. Vibrant. Misery. Shame. And dark. Oh, and atone. I could have sworn I saw Yuri have like a skull face. Hi again, soulless chimera. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, haha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Thanks for helping keeping your promise, soulless chimera. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monika. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Hey, can you move? I can't read that. Natsuki, why is she in the way? Move! I cannot read all that. Monika and manga. Manga is literature. I'm sorry, soulless chimera. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. It only feels right for me to do something not like that if you ask. But wait, I didn't mean it like that. Wait, if you really don't want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. I just want to be a part of this club, so even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's just a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Yeah, Natsuki's in the closet. Yuri's in a book. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch the glimpse of a cover for her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she knows me looking at her. So are we not exchanging poems? Do I just pick... I'll figure it out, I guess. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes met for a split second. Also, I probably should have said this yesterday, or the last episode, sorry, but I apologize if I do sound a little different, or if I'm coughing or sniffling. I'm still recovering from a cold as I'm recording these. But I feel fine enough to do so, obviously. So, yeah, again, just disclaimer, sorry. In advance. Post-advance, I guess. Sorry. I was just spacing out. Oh, it's fine. I was focused, and if I was focused, I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped by the bookstore yesterday... I mean... I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. I'll definitely start reading it soon. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about? Well, Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start to selectively... What? Breeding people by cutting off their limbs and asphyxiating them to... Oh my god! The book, I mean. Not the thing about limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Holy Christ. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing? Soulless Chimera. No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just this kind of story, it's the kind of that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people, and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts... I didn't even press spacebar, that just fucking flew. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I'm talking too much. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I could do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading, right? Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... let me just get the book. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? Yeah, are you sure? You seem a bit apprehensive. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. Not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. When I edit this video, I'm gonna pause and make sure I see what that is. I don't really mean to, sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's against Yuri's, and I hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the pages. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips onto her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. As if I could feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? What? Turn the page. Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little longer. It's probably the least I could do, since you've been so patient with me. Thanks. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Huh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about, sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Hehe. What? You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... Am I breathing? Didn't even notice. I just need some water. Okay, so... From what I remember, Yuri's kind of a psycho, right? Anyway, Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Soulless Chimera? Did something happen just now? Huh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, can't say I do. Are you worried? Oh no, not really. I was just making sure you didn't do anything to her. No, come on. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Oh, now we're gonna do the poems, okay. Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a little while, so I just figured we get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I don't like this. This is kind of boring. Alright. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair that I shared mine with her first. What happened? If you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Okay, it's the eagle one. We've seen this already. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Okay. But yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Exactly! Like, I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for the rhyme at the end, but then made it all fall flat on purpose. It helped brings out the feeling of the last line. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Alright, and now it's just Monica, I guess. Oh no. What's her glitchy part gonna be? Hi, Souls Chimera. Having a good time so far? Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Soulless Chimera. We're all a little bit embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Great job, Soulless Chimera. Where is it? I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That's why it always counts when I put in some effort. Wait, she didn't have a thing. Okay. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing enough, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time reading in her own head that's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her a lot with kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interactions, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly, like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for time alone. Yuri, I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Huh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. Alright. Alright, hers is The Hole in the Wall. We've already read this before too. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Wallowing in my fears, I brandish my pen. So, what do you think? I still can't. I'm not really the right person to ask about for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany lately. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. So if you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Alright. Thanks for listening. Alright, and now that Yuri's back, we'll go through Yuri's. Because she'll like ours. Exceptional. What was that? Did I just say that out loud? Gonna hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Hehe. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is my first time, actually. Well, I know that. I just meant, Okay, yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers, is that they try and make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Alright. Her stammering is gone, but mine's still fucking here. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki could be a little biased, though. Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that, sorry. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I don't know what kind of poem she... Oh, it's still the ghost one. Okay, so all the poems I assume are still the same? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. I also like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little bit more mild. Something that's easy to digest, I suppose. Actually, the story wasn't about a ghost at all, soulless chimera. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In any case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. A lot more solemn putting it that way. I haven't even thought about that. That's impressive. Nah, if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, soulless chimera. Thanks. Alright. But I think with all the poems out of the way, we'll end today's episode right there and continue from there. So like I said, this is still so weird having only 3 girls. Is the music fucked up too? Dude, I'm either hearing shit that, like, things are slowly getting fucked up. Okay, whatever. Yeah, we'll end today's episode right there, continue in the next, and go from there. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and as usual, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.